a lot of people can't make it on here. All right, so we've got the recording going. Now let me share my screen. And I don't know, Beth, can you see the screen?
No, I can't because I'm on my phone.
Okay. Do you have, just a second here. Now you should be able to see it on your phone. Did you call in on your phone or did you use the link?
Yep. No, I called in.
Okay. All right. Well, you'll be able to hear what we have. What I do is I go ahead and I like to do a PowerPoint just because it reminds me of what I want to say. So, and it is nothing fancy, so you're not missing any fancy stuff.
Okay.
At all. So I wanted to go over, we had a leadership call today for anybody that's silver and above, and that call is with doTERRA. And I'll just go over a few things that they had said. We had 90,000 new enrollments in April. We had 1 presidential diamond, 4 blue diamonds, 14 diamonds, 15 platinums, 43 golds, and 148 silvers on that. So the May promotions, which I really think is a great promo. The Save or Share a Drop is a really good promotion. There's what that is when you sign up a wellness advocate or a wholesale customer with a 100 PV enrollment order from May 1st through May 31st, both you and that new member are going to receive 50 PV worth of free products. So that's basically $50 worth of oils if they've got oils in free products. Plus, we as wellness advocates get a little spiff on the side too, which is just awesome. And things. I don't think doTERRA's ever done this as far as giving their wellness advocates an actual part of that. Now, what a lot of people, you can do a lot of things with this. A lot of people, what they're doing is they're offering their free PV that they're going to get to their new enrollee if they set up another LRP for the following month, and that LRP goes through. Then those people can get another 50 free PV. So that's a really good way to get people involved and to get them to go on the LRP on there. Free oil of the month, cedarwood. And we all love the cedarwood. I use it all the time. Kelly uses it all the time, I know, for her knees and stuff. And then, of course, the petal diffuser is 10% off this month. Another thing that was discussed, which some of you have already probably seen in The Essential, is that the Mother's Day promotion. They do have, now they didn't say how many they had this month, so I don't know where Debbie got the 200,000 kits or whatever, but they do have some more coming later this month. And then that will also be, they have a Father's Day promotion that'll be available about the same time. So hopefully, here's what I'm thinking, to boost up volume, push the Mother's Day kits. You know, we all know that they're not going to come back, and we all know that, you know, how crazy everybody went with them before. So really push that everybody buys their 2 that they can get, because you can use them for like you can split them in 3. So like if you're having a class, you could tell, you know, if you get 10 people to your class, I'll give you the free kumquat, which is an oil that doTERRA does not normally have. You know, so if you have a couple extra sets, you can split them up like that, and that would be a really special oil that somebody could get for holding the class on there. So I highly suggest let's kind of push this Mother's Day and this Father's Day promotions for our volume, so we can get our volume up on that. In March, with the new empowerment bonus pool, doTERRA had over 5,000 people receive that bonus pool, which is just awesome. And for those of you that don't know what the bonus pool is, it's a new pool, new bonus. It's available for silvers and premiers, and it's 1% of the company volume. So it's usually about anywhere, depending on how many people there are, anywhere from 175 to 200 on that. And that's every month. And all you have to do when you're a silver and a premier, all you have to do is enroll 1 person That's it, with 100 PV that month. So each month, just enroll one person and you're going to go ahead and get that extra $175 to $200 bonus, which is really cool. They didn't have that when I was a Premier and Silver on there. So any questions about any of this that I just went over before we start into some of the training? Let's see who popped in on here. Oh, Jess popped in. Hi, Jess.
Hey, Jess.
All right, so let's go ahead. I wanted to go ahead and talk about a few things. You know, one of it is, why do we sell oils? You know, or what do we sell? Well, we sell essential oils. It's basically what all of us go out and try to sell, right? And I don't even like to use the word sell, because I just share the oils. But you know, who else sells oils? So you've got Walmart out there. You've got Bed Bath & Beyond out there. You've got Kmart out there. You've even got Dr. Axe out there. I mean, you have so many people out there selling essential oils, right? And so many people are like, oh, well, we've all heard it. I know we have all heard it. Well, I can get that frankincense for $5 at Walmart. Well, you know what? You go, girl. You know, it's not going to be the same frankincense that we have, you know, and that's where we come in, is we need to go ahead and educate them. And how many times have we heard somebody stop their LRP? You know, I had somebody yesterday, I need to cancel my LRP because I have enough oils. You know, I know we've all heard that too. You know what? I have enough oils. You know, I've got 3 bottles of lemongrass, 5 bottles of lavender, da-di-da-di-da. You know, we've all heard that. And I actually heard Scott the other day on the phone with one of his buddies. And this is what he said to him, and it made me think, you know, insanity, it's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I mean, I'm right there with this, you know, you know, you do the same thing, you have the same class, you have you know, you talk to the same people, you know, you do the same thing over and over. Why would I expect a different result if I'm doing the same thing that I did a year ago and nothing has changed? So here's what my thought is, and what I'm going to start doing, and I've already started implementing it. But we should actually be selling a lifestyle. You know, we should actually be selling a good, healthy lifestyle. You know, you could ask people, you know, what are your health goals? You know, you can, you know, and they'll tell you what their health goals are, you know, and, you know, we've got a couple health coaches on here, and we've got several on our teams, but you don't have to be a health coach. Ask Kelly. Kelly has gotten this whole group of ladies that does, oh, Kel, what is it that you guys do? They do an eating process, a cleanse. That's the word I'm looking for. And Kelly's not a health coach or anything, but she just learned, she studied, she uses the doTERRA products and things. So what would, you know, a healthy lifestyle be? And this is kind of the doTERRA lifestyle that they have. And Beth, Kelly can get you this picture. I can get you this picture so you can see it. But the first thing is you've got to eat right. You know, you've got to eat healthy. Well, that's kind of common sense. Everybody kind of knows what eating healthy is, whether you do it or not. You know, I don't know. But, and so to eat right, how does doTERRA products come with us in eating right? Well, they can use the Trim Shake. They can use the Terra Greens. They can, you know, they can use the Slim and Sassy gum, you know, if they want to do that. So, you know, the whole Slim and Sassy series is part of eating right. So that's what we can incorporate into the eat right part on there. Just a second here. Let me mute everybody. Okay. All right. So then, you know, the second thing on the pyramid is exercise. Well, what can we use to exercise from doTERRA? Well, I know after I exercise, I need the Deep Blue. I mean, that just to rub my body down with that Deep Blue. Cedarwood is very good for your sore, your sore muscles. Mito 2 Max, they're going to need the Mito 2 Max and the Lifelong Vitality, because that's going to give them exercise, or that's going to give them energy to go ahead and be able to exercise. So, right there, you've got some products that are going to help them with exercising and to build your LRP is where I'm going with all this. So rest and management, the Serenity Complex, the Serenity Soft Gels, the Serenity Oil, Vetiver, lavender, clary sage, all of those oils are great for rest and managing stress on there. Reduce toxic load. The whole On Guard system right there is gonna help. Your Zendocrine is going to help with that. Your GX Assist and your PB Assist is going to help with your system with that. So informed self-care. The self-care is, what I think of self-care is taking care of yourself, and if that's your emotions, then that's great. So you might talk to them about the emotional aromatherapy kit. Or you might even with that, and everything doesn't have to be doTERRA. You might say, here's this great book that's I've been reading, and it works really well. Personally, I like The Secret. I just use that book all the time. I read their little posts all the time. I really like that. So as you can see, as we're going up this wellness pyramid, if we do all of this, it's going to help your medical care. Scott and I, knock on wood, have not been to the doctor for almost 4 years now, because we've been following this program. We've been following, and do we eat pizza? Yes. Does Scott eat chocolate cake? Yes. We're all human. But the less that we do of that, and the more that we educate these people about this wellness pyramid, your LRPs are right there, guys. You can get them using the Lifelong Vitality, the Mito Max, using the Trim Shakes. Those are all things that they're going to need every single day on there. So you might ask them, come on. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you feel your health goals are? And then listen to them. And honestly, this is where a lot of us have challenges, is listening to them. I do. I really had to work to listen to people, because I couldn't stand the silence. And maybe that's from a family of 5 kids. We had to kind of spit our words in there when we could, when somebody was breathing. So I really had to teach myself to listen, and then, most people might say a 5, 6, 7, 8, depending on where they are. And so you might, just listen to what they have to say. And then ask them, what happens if you don't hit that goal? So I know for myself, if I had, this was 4 years ago or so, but if I had not lost 50 pounds, what would have happened? My butt would have been sitting in the couch all day long, because I was so sore to get up. I didn't feel like getting up. I had no energy. So what happens when you don't hit your goal? There's all kinds. You can't play with the kids or the grandkids. You can't take a walk. You can't, there's just certain things you can't do if you're not healthy and things. So again, listen to them and say, what happens if you don't hit that goal? What would happen? Some people could get really, really sick. It would be like, if I ate gluten, what would happen? Well, my eyeballs would go poof and things. So listen to what the people have to really say. And then ask them, if I could show you something that does not cost an arm and a leg, oops, my wording here. If I could show you something that does not cost an arm and a leg to meet those goals, would you be interested? See what they say. If they say no, then say, you know what? That's, if you don't want to, that's fine. It's okay. You'll get no's. We've all gotten no's and things. But honestly, most people will at least listen and see what you have. So you're going to want to educate them, on the big picture, sell the big picture. Educate them on other items besides the oils. So why educate them on the oils and not any other products? Well, because that's how we all were taught. We all thought doTERRA is an oil company. And it's true. We were all taught that, tell them what Wild Orange works for, tell them what Forgive works for and things. So what we do is we take 10 oils to a class or to a one-on-one, and we teach them about oils. Well, honestly, a lot of people have gotten, because it's been out there so far, now you can't get them at Walmart, you can't get them at Kmart and all the different places. People really, oh yeah, I know about that oil. I get this oil at Whole Foods, or I get this oil there. Well, why not educate them on the wellness triangle? Why not educate them on, products that they're going to use every single day? Teach them the wellness triangle as far as getting out the toxins out of their home. Get rid of a toothpaste. Go have them look at their shampoo, the bar of soaps, the facial products. I mean, if any of you have looked at other facial products, and we all have it. I got old ones that are here that I don't use anymore. They're all cakey and stuff. But look at the products that are in, that are in the facial products. Look at what chemicals they use. Look at what chemicals are in shampoo. So what I am doing is I'm teaching the whole dynamics versus oils. I don't even mention oils, to be honest, lately. Unless somebody comes up and says, well, what oil for this, what oil for that? Well, I might push them towards, if they really have like an illness or something, or if they want just a cleanse, push them towards the GX Assist and the PB Assist. Push them, then push them towards the Zendocrine. And we do have the Zendocrine oil, so that could be an oil, or they can do that in capsules. If somebody comes up and says, my kidneys and liver need cleans. Well, there you go. Push them towards the GX and the GX Assist and the PB Assist and the Lifelong Vitality, because that's going to help their body constantly. And the DDR Prime. Oh, I love that item. The DDR Prime, is going to help our cells become healthier. So, sell them on the big picture, sell them on health. That's what people want. People want to be healthy on there. And then, and then bring maybe a couple oils to your class. But I would bring some of the other products, the toothpaste, the shampoo, the things that they can get out, and then and just replace. Now, I'm not telling them to go. I honestly don't tell them, oh, well, they say, well, I have 2 tubes of toothpaste. Well, you know what? Use the 2 tubes of toothpaste. I'm not going to tell them to go throw that away. Just replace it with our toothpaste and things. I can't, I really don't expect people to go. Now, it would be wonderful if we all had somebody that would just go clear out their house, and then we would, oh yeah, here's the whole kit. That would be awesome. But let's be a reality here. And reality is they're going to buy some, little here and little there, and get rid of their, soaps. And like I made my own dishwashing soap the other day, and had to get a few things from Whole Foods, and then I added my own guard to it. So there's definitely ways to do that. Oh, that should go up. So this is what you have to do to buy into the complete lifestyle. So that's what you would tell the person. The person says, well, what would I need? Well, this is what you would need. You would need the Natural Solutions Kit. The Natural Solutions Kit's going to be a good start off for you. It's going to give you some oils. It's going to give you the Lifelong Vitality. It's going to give you, I believe it comes with the GX and PB Assist also. I'm not sure right off the top of my head, because I was looking for a picture and I obviously got sidetracked and forgot the picture. But it's got the On Guard products. So the Natural Solutions Kit is a great kit. And it's $550, 400 PV. How great for you to be confident. You need to live the life also. So if you teach this wellness pyramid and the toxic, get rid of the toxics, then you need to know about it also. And it's a great way to get people on the LRPs is with these products. You might challenge, if you're in a house, you might challenge the hostess, go do a scavenger hunt real quick and pull out all the pull out 5 things from your home. Maybe be Crest toothpaste or Dawn dish lotion or the alcohol hand sanitizer, and then look at those, look at all the chemicals in them, to see what you have. That would be a great little project that you could spend 10 or 15 minutes on in a class, so people wouldn't get quite bored. Sometimes they kind of look at you with that glazed look after like 15-20 minutes, like, oh Lord have mercy, we got 10 more oils to go through or 5 more oils to go through. And things, maybe have the hostess get a couple products out so you could look at the toxic, look at the chemicals that are in it. And then help them find the natural lifestyle. Help them find what they need. The quicker we help people establish the healthier lifestyle, the faster your residual income is going to happen. If we can get these people on LRPs and get them buying their toothpaste and their soaps and their, even their coconut oil, or their mud masks. So, people think that we just sell oils. Well, there's so many other multi-level marketing companies out there, network marketing companies out there, that people are members of 4 or 5 of them. Some people have Melaleuca because of the cleaning solutions. Well, doTERRA has all these cleaning solutions. You can make your own cleaning solution with the On Guard products. You've got people that you have a company that has shampoo for your hair and things. Well, doTERRA's shampoo I'm in love with. I just love their shampoo and conditioner. I think it's excellent and things. So why not buy all that from yourself and start getting all those free points back also? So if you're really believing it and you're living the wellness triangle, you're going to feel confident in selling the Natural Solutions Kit or the health kit, selling healthier options versus just oils. And people buy what you show them. And that's why I'm suggesting maybe taking some of these products to your classes and not so many oils. Because what will happen is, I can almost guarantee it, people are going to say, well, I didn't know doTERRA had cleaning products. I didn't know doTERRA had shampoo or conditioner. I didn't know that they had facial products or spa products. I thought doTERRA was only oils. If you can show them, like the scrub or the body butter, the body wash, you can show them all those that they're going to, the body wash is what, $8, I think, $8 or $9. You can, they'll go to Bed Bath & Beyond and buy one that has a bunch of chemicals in it and things. So if you can show them those products, then they can buy them, for themselves. So why not show them what they can replace and show them how you live and how you've come along. Now, all of us, including myself, are not a 10 in health. Well, I'll just speak for myself. Maybe some of you are, but I myself am not a 10. I'm not even an 8 or 9 for health, So we're all a working project on there. So let those people know it's okay to be a working project. It's okay to do that. One other thing is, a confused buyer won't buy. So if you use too many words or too many products, you're going to confuse them. And then they're going to want to go home and say, I don't know what I want to do now, because look at this person, gave me all these oils to go by. But if they go home and you've been talking about the wellness triangle for 30 minutes to them, they're going to go home and say, oh my gosh, you know what? I can really get healthy. I just have to kind of follow these steps. If I, just do a shake in the morning and in the afternoon. If I can get rid of toxins by using my own toothpaste or using the On Guard products. you just need to build it up. And if you guys have confidence, you will have confidence in them, and they will have confidence in you. And then also, as we're finishing this part up, if we have a confused builder on the phone, or if you guys hear of anybody that's a builder that's confused, please go to your upline or contact me, because it's hard to sell something or hard to give information about something if you're confused. Now, we've all been confused now and then, and I still get confused sometimes on different things and stuff, and there's a lot to learn and things. But if you guys have particular instances that that you're really not sure about, let us know. Let somebody know so we can help you, because we want you to be confident. We want you to feel good. We want you to feel healthier on your way to health while you're helping your person, your client and things. So you might ask yourself as you're leaving the person, do they look confused? Do they have those glazed eyes and like, oh, crumb, what did she just tell me? I just don't know. And you might ask them, did I answer all your questions? Do you have any other questions? What can I help you with as far as, any confusion that you have? So keep it simple. Our 4 rules are use the products, share and educate the products, enroll the person, and follow up, which would be part of keep them not confused, so they know what they're getting into and things. And I heard somebody say, a lady went home to her husband and said, oh my gosh, they had all these oils and this and that and everything else. And you guys have even heard Scott say, I brought home these oils. And he's like, oh boy, here's the snake oil. What are we going to do with this and stuff, But what if I would have come home to him and say, oh my gosh, honey, we're going to get healthy. We're going to feel good. We're going to get toxics out of our systems. We've read so many articles about how everything's got toxins in them. This is such a great class because I learned how I can become healthy, and I can become, I can become well and things. And even I think it was that Neil Anderson, he says, even if you ask somebody and they say, oh, well, I'm with Young Living, you could say, that's okay, because this is a wellness class. Good for you. You're using oils. That's what we want, actually. We want people using oils and things, but what's going to happen is they might start seeing the toothpaste. They might start trying different things. And hey, who knows? They might want to try On Guard every now and then. Or they might want to, compare one of our oils to one of their oils. So this is good for everybody, to get everybody involved on that. So that's all, that's pretty much what I wanted to share today with you guys is let's work on getting our people healthy, and that will help build our LRPs. I mean, if we get people just on the Lifelong Vitality alone, I mean, that's 60 PV right there, and it's, and the great point is that you can, with the Lifelong Vitality, they have a 30-day return program. So if they don't want those, if they just feel that it doesn't work, then they can return it. But also one thing to remind them is if people say they don't work and they've tried it a month, right? Well, think about like your car. Your car always needs oil changes, right? And when you go to get the oil change, you don't feel any different, do you? But you know that it's your car, to keep it a fine-tuned running body, you need to change the oil every 6,000 miles or whatever. I don't change the oil, so Scott does. But whatever the amount is, I think it's 6,000. So, but the vitamins are going to be the same way. You may not feel immediately those kick in. It may take 2 months. It may be that you're just going to feel a nice, relaxing, soul searching type of feeling. It just makes you feel good. I can't explain it. I mean, I know when we don't take them for a couple days, I kind of notice a difference. But, invite them to try those Lifelong Vitalities and let them know, look, you know what? You order these this month. Next month, you can get them, at a discount because you're a wholesale member. Or you could use your 50 PV to get to add the Mitomax, or to buy the Mitomax, to try another product. So really, that's just what I'm going to do, is I'm going to focus on the wellness part of doTERRA, because it's just going to lead right into the oils. And people, I think this is going to help get men in there also, because men don't think the oils are going to do diddly squat until they actually try them and things, until us wives have to like throw it on them and everything else, rub their feet. Okay, I'll rub your feet just to prove that they work. We've all done it. So I just want you to maybe think about turning your aspects, your angle to the wellness side of doTERRA, and see if that doesn't help with your life or with your LRPs and things, because that's the real residual income. Ours is everybody on these LRPs, and once people realize that these oils and these supplements and the toothpaste and the bath bar, I love this like bath bar, the Citrus Bliss bath bar. Oh, it's heaven. The breathe drops. Oh my gosh, I was at lunch yesterday on the motorcycle, and one of our wellness advocates whipped out a breathe drop. I'm like, yes, because she just loves them, because she likes them she used to use the Ricola, but she found out Ricola has some chemicals in them too, even though they say natural. They have, oh my Lord, have mercy, you don't even want to hear the conversation. But they have stuff from beavers, I guess, that is how they flavor them. So it's great. It was crazy. But so she had a breathe drop. But invite people to try all the other products on there. That's all I can say. And teach by the wellness triangle. That's going to go ahead and help you get other products besides oil, because I know we've all hit, at least I have, I know Kelly's mentioned it to myself also, we've had wellness customers, wellness advocates say, well, I already have too many oils, I'm going to cancel my LRP. And oils is just, oils are probably maybe half of what doTERRA actually has to offer on there. So does anybody have any questions or comments, or not even about this? Any questions about anything else? You have to unmute. Wait, I'll unmute us. Just a second. Let me figure out how. Oh, no. Oh, here. Okay, now everybody should be unmuted. There, good one, Jen. Jen's got the baby. She's like, I'm muting.
She's screaming.
Did you have a question, Beth?
No, but I did listen a couple of weeks ago to one of those, it was an online and it was free, and it was about how to sell your product.
Uh-huh.
And basically what she said was not even to talk about the product at all, because everybody already knows what you're selling. And what she said was to try to get people to understand how it would change their life.
Oh, yes.
That's what, and that's what she was striving for,
Mm-hmm.
To target your market. Like, you have young mothers that may have to work. How would you like to stay home with your kids and spend more time with your kids? Kind of to go around that route. So I've been kind of I listened to that a couple of weeks ago. I'm working 2 jobs at this point in time, so it's really hard for me
Sure.
to stay awake to do anything. Sundays I'm a slug. I sort of. So all I do is apologize to my boyfriend. I'm so sorry, on Sundays I'm such a slug. But you know, that's what, you know, they were that, and I found that very interesting. And it was just like, you know, when somebody that you know, I do work 2 jobs, and I do work in the garden center at Lowe's. So almost everybody inside the garden center has some type of allergy.
Oh,
So I do have my little bottle of digestin in my pocket, and I tell them to just put it underneath their eyes and on their forehead, and they walk around and they're like, "Oh my God, you know, this stuff is working." So, you know, I guess if you're going to be successful, I want to say is to not even talk so much about the product, just to talk about, you know, how they can make their life a little easier.
right.
You know, so I don't know if that's a good route to take, or,
Mhm.
you know, I don't know. I just wish I had the time to do it,
Right.
to talk to more people. So I'm trying to talk to as many people as I come in contact with.
Mhm.
The bank is a little more difficult because we're all so busy. I'm
Mhm.
working for a bank right now that is in the middle of an acquisition. So everybody in my whole department is so busy. So you know, and then when you're at lunch, you don't talk to any, you know, you don't converse because you're talking the whole time.
Right. Right. Right.
You're talking all day. So
Yeah.
you know, I do have people in my neighborhood. I could probably, you know, organize a party once the weather gets nicer. It would be nice to have people over and kind of do it outside.
Uh-huh.
So,
They're a freshman.
you know, that's an idea. So
Beth,
I'm going to kind of, yeah,
this is Kelly. Hey,
yeah.
the training that you listened to, was that by any chance Tasha Dixon with the Emerge sales training? Is that the one that you
No.
listened
No, I don't think so.
to? Okay.
I don't
'Cause it
remember what her name.
It's
I don't
it
remember
sounds
what
like,
her name was.
it sounds
But I
like
think for
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think for the low price of like $400, she'll, you know, make the training geared towards what you do sell.
Wow.
So you could tell her you do doTERRA, and she would, you know, do a whole thing just for you specifically for doTERRA.
Well, because I
You
know
know,
I know that Emerge sales training says to do that as well. But what what she's saying is that when you are, you know, maybe doing a booth at a fair, or if you're just, you know, at work talking with someone,
yeah,
basically at that point, no, you don't want to go into all of the products. And I would agree
right.
with that. However, that is the time where you would actually invite them to some of the classes so that they can learn about the product, because that's why people go to the classes, is so that they can learn. So
Yeah.
I would agree with half of that. And
Yeah.
but classes, that's what they're there for. I mean, people
Well,
need
and I kept good notes about the things she said, and you know, hopefully I can kind of do a half and half, incorporate